A video from 1993, it exposed the true colors of a group of brutal elements. These thugs traveled thousands of miles by helicopter, arriving in the Arctic only for the purpose of violence. They would randomly select victims. They even hugged each other while hiding in the cave. Today, the rioters targeted a mother and baby seal. Facing the threat of terrorist uprisings, lone warrior and violent mother, he bravely ran away. In contrast, Xiao Bao remained calm in the face of danger, neither dodge nor flinch. Why not avoid? Because he's just a lump of a giant glutinous rice ball covered in icing sugar, overly rounded flavor. He was destined not to be like One's parents. Silky, smooth departure. It's okay, there's always a good way to hug your baby. The leopard tried to nip it in the bud. Integrate yourself with your environment. It's a pity that's such a perfect disguise. Ultimately, they couldn't escape the thugs' watchful eyes. The leopard used the gangsters' excitement to try and drive away the humans, but unfortunately, the arms are a bit short. He couldn't even touch his own belly button. The leopard used the leopard roar, trying to instill fear in humans. Unfortunately, the little leopard acts like a spoiled child when it gets angry. +0. Favorability price, 100. Little Bo, who was exhausted and covered in sweat in the end. The ending resulted in everyone covered in sweat. The rioters then gave everyone a performance on the spot. The famous scene of hand-rolling wild glutinous rice balls. Little Bo was in great danger. The mother, who could no longer bear it, decided to just bear with it a little longer. These upright individuals are very skilled at striking and hugging. Not only skillful, clear goals. Finish and run without looking back. Before leaving, he didn't forget to give the tabloid development to prevent him from becoming dependent on humans. Thus the pathogen returned to normal. Only one despondent cub remained. And his unforgettable smile. Welcome to the Haidy Rankings, Cutest posters. Ranked 3rd on the individual list. Regular guest on the Polar Bear Food Program. Class poster. When polar bears are the main characters, our sacrifice is a matter of course in the law of the jungle. But after we become the protagonists of this episode, polar bears are ruthless hunters. I am a scourge to living beings. One still single. Poster. The cute little dumpling next to me is my newborn son. The little one was only 2 days old. Nature's matching mechanism then came into play. They directly arranged for a polar bear mother and daughter to come to us. Fortunately, the cleverness was still fair. His little bear doesn't look very smart. It's not easy to be born. It depends on acting skills. In order to conceal Xiao Bao's whereabouts, I deliberately surfaced, attracting the attention of the polar bear mother and daughter. Next, all you need to do is play a tense game with them. A thrilling 321 witness game will suffice. Critical moment. Why is the phone screen choppy? As the polar bear mother and cub drew ever closer to hope, I jumped straight into the ice cave next to me. It severely damaged their self-confidence. Let them come with integrity. Returning after receiving the letter. But just when I thought it was a real dormitory, everything will develop as I expected. Which little bear turned its feet, heading straight towards the leopard. Oh no, I've been tricked. The little bear that doesn't seem very bright. In reality, he was pretending to be weak to deceive others. His real target was the young leopard cub. Little leopard is currently far from Bingdong. It's no use doing anything now. There was a reversal in the military. The little bear was just pretending to be a pig to eat the feed. He had no hunting experience. He was waiting for the bear mother to make a move. A thrilling and exhilarating competition, an evenly matched opponent. This ending is not bad either. Bear fans made a scene, and the bear exploded. I feel sorry for the most harmonious blow in the Arctic Circle. Next up is the Baikal Seal, ranked 2nd on the Harley-Davidson leaderboard. That's right. He's the biggest blind man in the seal world. Perhaps I look ordinary at first glance. But if you look closely, it's a bit scary. But please believe me, this is not a cover-up. What's truly adorable is my adult form. Who could imagine us? This small, palm-sized face. It can actually hold it. 2 large, crystal-clear black apothecary eyes. And those of us living in Russia can choose not to live. But we can't be without work. The reason why the Russians have high combat power, that's because in our Navy SEALs, there really are SEALs. Self-introduction complete. Back to the present. The sky fell when I was born. Of course, this is not a metaphor. The ice on Lake Baikal has begun to melt. The ice is pressing in on me. At the critical moment, I dove underwater and escaped unharmed. But the situation is urgent. As a child, I could only see through the collapsed ice. I desperately called for good news from my mother. Wang Zai's mom came back to my side. Bad news, they want to head to a new base. It requires traversing a 1,600-meter high glacier. For someone like me who only knows how to be brave alone, walking is completely impossible. Want to survive? The only option is to burn your bridges and swim across in one go. Adult seals have a very strong breath, can dive for more than half an hour. But as a child, I could only hold my breath for a maximum of 5 minutes. If there are no ventilation holes along the way, then my only fate will be to sink to the bottom of the lake. Nature has no novice protection, period. Fate ultimately did not favor me. The thick ice surface resembled a red ditch. It completely cut off my hope of survival. Just as I was about to lose consciousness, suddenly, my mother started blowing bubbles. One by one, the bubbles rose and merged. A miraculous air bladder formed. At this moment, a mother's love took shape. The teetering boat sailed into the safe harbor. The road ahead is difficult and long. But behind me, there's always someone I can lean on. Ultimately, thanks to the mother's bubble after bubble, and the ventilation holes that are found from time to time, I completed this seemingly impossible journey. The last one to appear was the first. There's absolutely no need for further introduction. While other newspapers are striving for higher rankings, looking at it again, the HARP poster had already taken its place on the judges' panel. If the contestants ahead are all equally talented, each has its own strengths, then I would simply be crushed by tree branches. Fault line? Don't ask why. This is how the genetic code is written. Even though I am so cute, but in nature, you can't rely on your looks to make a living. My start was extremely difficult. The disappearing dad, busy mom, broken glaciers, temporary home. Although my mother loves me very much, but if we absolutely have to give our family a deadline, that's at most 12 days. After that, at just 2 weeks old, I'm already facing life's realities on my own. Don't ask why. This is how the genetic code is written. Fortunately, being fat is my biggest advantage. I weighed over 20 pounds when I was born. And in just 10 days, my weight can triple. This is all thanks to the mother's nutrition. Excess breast milk. Its fat content alone can exceed 40%. It truly lives up to the saying, one sip and you'll gain 3 pounds. Compared to a harbor that shelters from the wind and rain, my mother is more like a gas station that you can stop and go as you please. After I filled up the gas tank, all my mother could teach me was swimming. He will keep guiding me towards the sea, then patiently watch over them from the sidelines until I can become a flexible retaliator in the sea. Until I first experienced the wonders of nature. Until I was completely exhausted. I thought I would sleep my last night by his side. When I woke up again, my mother has passed away. I have very few places left to stay, but I will ride on the tattered ambushes, sail with the wind, using waves as feet, charge toward a destination called the unknown, go and fight 300 rounds against an enemy called fate.